Consumer Affairs, Miss Lindy Cameron, British High Commissioner to India, all other distinguished guests, delegates, media personnel, my colleagues. Your presence underscores the shared commitment of India and the UK to accelerate clean energy cooperation and develop a credible pathway for offshore wind in India. India and UK share a long-standing partnership grounded in commitments to sustainability, clean energy innovation, and institutional collaboration in the power and renewable energy reforms. Over the years, we have advanced policy development, technology cooperation, and market shaping reforms for a secure, climate resilient energy future. Building on this foundation, the India-UK Offshore Wind Task Force was jointly announced in February 2025 during the 4th India-UK Energy Dialogue, a key milestone in bilateral clean energy cooperation. Offshore wind promises large-scale clean power. It complements solar and onshore wind, enhances energy security, and catalyzes an industrial ecosystem which includes port upgrades, vessels, manufacturing sector, services, and jobs. It represents a strategic opportunity for India. Over the last decade, India has advanced offshore wind through notification of offshore wind policy in October 2015. We have identified the potential zones of offshore wind off the coast, Gujarat and Tamil Nadu. Through mesoscale studies, we have issued strategic paper in July 2022 and notified offshore wind energy lease rules in 2023. Government of India has provided viability gap funding schemes with guidelines issued on 11th of September 2024. After doing all these things, still the industry is having number of challenges. The first one being 40% commodity price rise since 2022. Higher cost of capital and return on equity expectations. There are gaps in infrastructure in terms of ports and grid infrastructure and vessels. There is a lack of long-term project pipeline with off-take assurance. This task force will serve as an action-oriented platform to address these challenges systematically. It will improve project design, clarify approvals and permitting roles, strengthen the ports, logistics.
The stock market's biggest players are making moves. Are you watching? Big Bull Portfolio by ET Prime gives you exclusive access to the holdings of top investors, the real market movers. See where they are investing, what they are buying, and what they are exiting. Track net worth changes, recent picks, and best performing stocks in their portfolio. ET Prime gives you deep insights, smart market tools, and exclusive insights to help you invest with confidence.
Readiness in future tenders. Offshore wind is capital intensive and complex, but with collaboration, balanced risks, and a sustained pipeline, we can scale from ambition to implementation. With these words, I once again welcome you all and thank you for your participation. We now proceed to the keynote address by our Honorable Minister, Shri Pralhad Joshi. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome to you all, especially His Excellency Right Honorable Deputy Prime Minister David Lammy. Most welcome. British High Commissioner to India, Miss Lindy Cameron. Ambassador of Denmark. Colleagues from the government and the departments. Partners, good morning to you all. I am pleased to join you today for the official launch of India-UK Offshore Wind Taskforce. India and United Kingdom share a deep and evolving partnership in clean energy. Our cooperation in energy sector is anchored in MOU signed in November 2015, which continues to guide collaboration through a structured joint working groups on power, renewable energy. Over the years, this framework has matured from dialogue to delivery. Today's launch is therefore the natural next step in the relationship that has steadily dependent in ambition and substance. In this regard, I am proud to inform you that India's clean energy transition is about execution scale. Today, India's installed non-fossil capacity stands at over 272 gigawatt, with the solar at the more than 141 gigawatt and wind at 55 gigawatt. In the ongoing financial year, we added more than 35 gigawatt of solar and 4.61 gigawatt of wind capacity. Also, last year, India achieved 50% of its cumulative installed power capacity from non-fossil sources, 5 years ahead of our nationally determined contribution commitment. To give you an idea of our scale, almost 3 million households have been benefited from the rooftop solar under the scheme PM-SG-MBY, Pradhan Mantri Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana, in less than 2 years. We have solarized 2.1 million pumps under another single scheme called PM Kusum. These numbers reflect a clear policy direction, institutional coordination, and the confidence of investors and industries. But the next phase is our transition must strengthen the reliability and grid stability, industrial depth, and energy security. Offshore wind has a strategic role in the next phase. Promising zones have been identified off the coasts of Gujarat and Tamil Nadu. Transmission planning for an initial 10 gigawatt offshore evacuation capacity, 5 gigawatt of each of the Gujarat and Tamil Nadu has been completed. A viability gap funding scheme has also been introduced to support early projects with a total outlay of 7,453 crore, which is approximately 710 million. As we all know, offshore wind is among the most complex segments of the global energy transition. It demands specialized port infrastructure, marine logistics, robust seabed leasing frameworks, clear risk allocation, and bankable commercial structure. That is why this task force matters much. As agreed under the India-UK Vision 2035 and Fourth Energy Dialogue, the task force has been constituted to provide the strategic leadership and coordination for the India's offshore wind ecosystem. I must say that this is not a symbolic platform. It is designed as a working mechanism. The United Kingdom has demonstrated a global leadership in scaling the offshore wind, from early stage deployment to the large commercial markets with a mature supply chains. India brings scale, long-term demand, and rapidly growing clean energy ecosystem. Together, we can focus on three practical pillars. First, ecosystem planning and market design, refining seabed leasing frameworks, aligning bidding trajectories with a grid readiness, and ensuring the revenue certainty mechanism that are credible and transparent. Second, infrastructure and supply chains, port modernization, local manufacturing of foundation, tower blades and cables, specialized vessels, and scaling for the marine operations. The third, financing and risk mitigation, blended finance structures, early stage de-risking instruments, and mobilization of long-term institutional capital. Offshore wind must also be integrated with the transmission planning, storage solutions, and emerging coastal green hydrogen clusters. India is leading the hydrogen breakthrough goal under the International Breakthrough Agenda alongside the partners, including the United Kingdom. We have also set a new benchmark in the green hydrogen with a price falling to the historic low of rupees 279 per kg, which is approximately 2.65 euros per kg under the National Green Hydrogen Mission. We have discovered the world's lowest green ammonia price at rupees 49.75 kg, and we are committed to driving these costs down even further. Offshore wind can complement this ambition by providing high-quality renewable power to the coastal industrial zones. This task force is actually a trust force. It reflects the confidence that India and the United Kingdom can work together in solving the real execution challenges. Let us therefore ensure that this platform delivers time-bound work streams, measurable milestones, and visible progress. Let us convert lessons from the global experience into the solution tailored to Indian condition. With a clarity of purpose, technical rigor, and shared commitment, offshore wind can become a strong pillar of India's clean, reliable, and self-reliant energy future and flagship of India-UK cooperation under Vision 2035. I look forward to the tangible outcomes that will follow. Thank you. Dhanyavad.
Thank you very much, Minister, for your inspiring words. Now it's my privilege to invite Right Honorable David Lammy, our Deputy Prime Minister, to share his remarks to the gathering. It's a privilege to have you here, sir. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much indeed. And 35 years after first visiting this great country, Minister Joshi, it's wonderful to be here and to welcome and thank you all for joining the UK-India Task Force, or as it has just been renamed by Minister Joshi, the Trust Force between our two great countries. 2025 was clearly the most exceptional of years for the UK-India relationship and collaboration. Since the energy dialogue back in February of last year, our partnership has been hugely strengthened by not just one, but two prime ministerial visits between Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Starmer, the fantastic achievement of signing the India and UK free trade agreement, and the launch of the UK-India Vision 2035. It's been an outstanding year. I've been joyous to see it come to fruition. This is my 4th visit to India in the space of 18 months because of the central importance of the UK-India relationship. And that's nowhere more important than on the climate and clean energy pillar, which is a key part of that vision for 2035, advancing our shared ambition and clean energy goals, which we identified as a priority for our relationship over the decade ahead. Can I begin by congratulating India on its remarkable, absolutely outstanding clean energy achievements and the rapid growth in its domestic capabilities. I commend India for its outstanding progress, particularly surpassing the milestone, as has been outlined, of achieving 50% of installed electricity capacity from non-fossil sources 5 years ahead of its 2030 target, clearly now leading much of the global community. And this is underpinned by strong policy frameworks and initiatives from Prime Minister Modi, Minister Joshi, and of course, MNRE have propelled this success, including flagship programs such as the Rooftop Solar Scheme and the National Green Hydrogen Mission. All of this ambitious in its efforts as positioning India as a global leader in clean energy. The United Kingdom, of course, has a strong ambition to become a clean energy superpower by decarbonising our power sector by 2030. This will create jobs, of course, and increase our energy security while also reducing emissions. So it's good for business, it's good for the population of our country, and it's good for the global community. We already have in the UK the second largest market for offshore wind in the world, and recently we held Europe's biggest auction of offshore wind, securing 8.4 gigawatts of new capacity. This task force is important. It's important in catalysing India's initial offshore wind projects and in shaping the long-term roadmap. And I want to underscore the UK's global leadership and deep expertise in offshore wind and convey the UK's commitment to sharing what we've learned, to sharing our best practice, our technical experience, and the lessons that we've learned with our friends here in India. We have an ambition. I want to highlight that ambition to support India in unlocking new opportunities for industry while advancing our shared clean energy objectives. Clean energy is good for our populations. It's good for business. It offers consumers, public and businesses alike, choice. And it's just fantastic that we're able to work together in this way at this time. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Deputy Prime Minister, for inspiring word. Now we move to the most significant moment of today's program, an official launch of UK-India Offshore Task Force. Can we play a short video to commence the moment?
India is accelerating its clean energy transition, reaching around 263 gigawatts of renewable capacity. This growth is led by over 140 gigawatts of solar and more than 54 gigawatts of wind. Globally, India now ranks among the top nations for renewables, solar, and wind. With a coastline of about 7,600 kilometers and potential offshore wind capacity of approximately 71 gigawatts, India has a unique opportunity to build a globally competitive offshore wind sector, strengthening energy security, creating green jobs, and catalyzing a new industrial ecosystem across ports, vessels, manufacturing, and services. India has laid strong foundations for offshore wind. These include the 2015 policy framework released by the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, the National Institute of Wind Energy's Resource Assessment Role, and international supported studies. India has also identified key zones and launched offshore measurement campaigns. In September 2024, the Government of India launched VGF guidelines with the support of 7,453 crore Indian rupees for the first 1 gigawatt capacity. Solar Energy Corporation of India also launched 2 landmark tenders, a 500 megawatt offshore wind project in Gujarat, an allocation of 4,000 megawatts of seabed leasing rights in Tamil Nadu. Together, these initiatives were designed to establish early projects and unlock a domestic offshore wind ecosystem. At the same time, market feedback highlighted key challenges, particularly global instability and supply chain constraints, which continue to affect project economics and delivery timelines. These learnings are now central to shaping the next phase of India's offshore wind roadmap. Globally, offshore wind is scaling rapidly, reaching about 83 gigawatts of installed capacity. Momentum is being driven by record auctions and a strong pipeline now under construction. The UK's offshore wind journey shows what's possible with long-term planning. From seabed leasing and bankable revenue frameworks to supply chain acceleration, the UK now has nearly 16 gigawatts connected, a pipeline of around 95 gigawatts. It continues to procure capacity through contracts for difference, while strengthening its domestic supply chain. Guided by the India-UK Vision 2035, both countries are deepening clean energy collaboration for mutual growth, including the India-UK Offshore Wind Taskforce, created to strengthen ecosystem development, supply chains, and financing models.
सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स के प्रति हमारी साझी प्रतिबद्धता है। हम इस दिशा में इंडिया यूके ऑफशोर विंड टास्क फोर्स के साथ गठन का स्वागत करते हैं।
Today, we launched the India-UK Offshore Wind Task Force to help unlock India's offshore wind opportunity. The task force is built on 4 core pillars: providing strategic guidance and identify risk management requirements, advising on enabling policies, workforce development, and infrastructure readiness, providing strategic guidance on financial modeling and risk measurement frameworks, facilitating effective stakeholder engagement and unified communication. These core pillars aim to accelerate readiness and build a resilient offshore wind ecosystem for the decades ahead. Together, we deliver.
Thank you. As we approach the conclusion of this ceremony, may I please request our High Commissioner Lindy Cameron to give the closing remarks. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Honourable Minister Pralhad Joshi, Honourable Deputy Prime Minister and Right Honourable David Lammy, Joint Secretary Regis Kulhari, and distinguished colleagues, including my colleague, the Ambassador from Denmark. On behalf of the Government of the United Kingdom and the British High Commission, it's a real privilege to offer the closing remarks today at the launch of the UK-India Offshore Wind Taskforce. I wanted to thank really sincerely the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, MNRE, for hosting us and for the vision and leadership that they've brought together for this important milestone. In particular, I want to thank the Joint Secretary for clearly setting out the context for why offshore wind is so central to India's clean energy transition and indeed to our shared climate and energy ambitions. I wanted to thank Minister Joshi for his keynote address and for the Government of India's ongoing commitment to scaling renewable energy, which is an ambition that continues to inspire investors, innovators and communities. And of course, to my own Deputy Prime Minister, Right Honourable David Lammy, for joining today's launch and underscoring the strength and momentum of the UK-India partnership. I think this is much more than a ceremonial moment, though I'm really impressed by the extraordinarily large number of people we have at this very important moment. It's a really practical and forward-looking step. Offshore wind is such a great story of collaboration across ministries in all of our systems, between ministries, regulators, ports, grids, finance, technology, skills, supply chains. It's a whole systems effort. And I hope that this platform, this task force offers a shared platform to turn opportunity into delivery, supporting the development of bankable projects, which allow us to really drive impact. And the UK is very proud to stand alongside India in this journey. We bring decades of experience of designing policy frameworks into engineering excellence, safety standards, environmental best practice, and competitive supply chains. And I think we saw that recently with the Contracts for Difference allocation round 7, which is the largest offshore wind auction in Europe, securing a record 8.4 gigawatts and unlocking around £22 billion of private investment, reflecting the scale of experience that we want to bring to this. And I know colleagues have got similarly impressive experience. But we also want to learn from this extraordinary scale of India, that amazing coastline, the exceptional speed and innovation, the real potential to go to a totally different level of scale. And I think we're looking forward to unlocking the kind of investment and partnerships that build capacity and deepen collaborations between both us as governments, but also our industries and our institutions. So thank you so much to all of the members of the task force and to the many colleagues who worked behind the scenes so tirelessly to get us to this stage and to put on this event, whether that's from MNRE, from UK government, or from partner institutions, including the government of Denmark. Your dedication, coordination, and expertise have made today possible. And I think we really are at our best when we deliver real outcome solutions. So I look forward to having the Deputy Prime Minister back for his 5th or 6th visits in the next couple of years in order to see the practical impact on the ground of what we've been able to achieve. Thank you very much indeed, and I wish you a wonderful day.
Thank you very much, High Commissioner. With this, we close the ceremony today. Thank you, everyone, for participating in the Offshore Wind Task Force. Thank you very much.
Thank
माइक मंगवा लो कहाँ मंगवा दूँ माइक ले आने का बाद में पैक अरे छोड़ दे